To set up your MobiCall for Wago Dry Contact Controller, it is needed to add and start the program nvipboxserver. For this, head into the new voice setup wizard. On the left side, change to Interface Settings and activate the checkbox Add Incoming Interfaces Contact Controller to launch alarms by contacts or to set a relay on an alarm. Make sure the new voice auto start monitor is closed when activating. A new setting folder opens up where can be defined what type of controller is going to be used. New voice is recommending Wago. Press Apply to save your setting. Now open up the new voice line monitor from the desktop. In the top left corner, click on System and choose Auto Start. Here you can see the new added program nvipboxserver.x. Select this entry and click Start on the right side. Close the Auto Start monitor and open the new voice contact controller from the desktop. On the left side, right-click on nvipboxserver and select Add Controller and choose the controller you are using. On the main settings, the general controller config is done. Do not uncheck the box Activate Controller if you want to use it. Give a name of the controller. If more than one controller is used, give it a unique name for better administration later. Controller ID must be unique and is counted from 101 up for every new controller. With the next drop-down menu, define your controller. Now it is needed to add contacts and relays for the controller, depending on what is going to be used. Click on Add to define your controller. You have the option to select between predefined modules or a custom amount of contacts, relays and sensors. The number of the module can be found on the module itself. After the modules are defined, click on OK to save your settings. In the network setting is defined how the controller is reached. Fill in the field IP address of the controller, the IP address how the controller is reached. With the field TCP/IP connection timeout can be defined the length of a connection loss until the connection counts as lost. With the field TCP/IP read timeout, a time can be defined until a read from the controller counts as lost. Keep the rest of the settings by default, except you are going to use a redundant system. Then activate the checkbox redundancy and enter the IP address of the second MobiCall server. Within the Watchdog Settings tab can be defined what alarm should be launched in case of a connection loss. With the field Watchdog Alarm ID, the number of the alarm to launch is entered. By default is alarm 9700. With the field Watchdog Alarm Delay is a time given where the controller got time to reconnect. If the controller should reconnect within this set time, the Watchdog alarm is not launched. With the field Watchdog Realarm, a time is entered when the Watchdog alarm is launched again. By default 1 day what equals 1440 minutes. With the fields below, redundancy can be the Watchdog alarm defined for the second MobiCall server. Within the Alarm Settings tab can be defined what alarms should be launched in case of a trigger on this contact controller. With the field Contacts Alarm Offset is defined what number will be added to the launched contact. If you keep on default 7000 and contact 2 will be triggered, the alarm number will be 7002. If you are using sensors on this contact controller, change the value as sensor alarm offset from -1 to a value what should be added for launching the alarm. You can keep the rest as it is set up. Within the additional Wago 84x settings tab can be defined that the controller should push its messages out to both MobiCall servers on a redundancy. Activate the checkbox New Voice Alarm Push Technology if you are using a redundant MobiCall system and enter the IP addresses in the fields below. Within the Contacts, Relays Setting tab, the whole configuration of this Wago controller can be overviewed. When the configuration of the controller is finished, click on OK in the top right corner. Now the added controllers should appear in the window and the status of the contacts can be supervised. By default the contacts are set to be open and an alarm should be launched when they get closed. This value can be changed. When the contact is used, what is closed by default, and an alarm should launch when the contact gets open. Make a right click on the contact you are going to use and change the value normally open to normally closed. If more information should be required regarding contact controller, contact New Voice Support.